Say on streets.
Our streets.
Say on streets. And made it.
Right.
Made it. Whose streets?
Our streets.
Word on the beat, word on the beat, word on the beat.
Time after time after time after time after time after time after
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Bazz, and y'all tuned in to another episode of Ends Podcast. In this podcast, we gonna keep it real, man. You know, I spent some time out in Minnesota, man, Minneapolis, man, the Twin Cities, and I noticed it was a different type of culture. It was a different type of grounds when it came for just navigating and understanding just like the scene of things as far as business and music. But this episode, we gonna talk more about, the artists, the music and artist community. And I got 3 key tips on how to navigate it, and at the same time, why. You feel me? So like everybody always want to understand that why, because sometimes we come into situations and our mindset be like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is my mindset. I don't see why I need to do that, or I don't find the value in it right now, or why I need to do that. So I'm going to give you the value right now. Number 1, well, understand that navigating the music, entertainment industry, just scene, or just, just crowd, or whatever you want to call it, when it comes down to this Twin Cities, you got to understand that this is a close-knit, family-like environment. You feel me? And that number 1 is going to lead to my number 2. But that number 1 really let that well you. It's a family, close-knit type of environment, but it just looks differently. I had to kind of take it back to kind of think about, back in, I'm from Detroit. But when you think about everybody you done grew up with, like that type of environment where it's like, I didn't know you, I know your resume, like I know who you are, I know what you stand for, I know what you bring to the table, I know how you act, stuff like that. So people grew up already knowing how people fit into their relationships, and they also establish where they like-mindedness interest comes in at. You feel me? And they all, and then a lot of things here is like about vibes too. But it's like, that's where that closeness, like just being close with each other come in at, because I understand your vibe, I understand what trigger your vibe, I understand what stimulates your vibe, you feel me? So it's like, I just take that back to when I was just saying like back in Detroit. I think about just growing up on the east side, and just think about just growing up in the hood I grew up in, just neighborhood I grew up in. It was like, everybody I grew up in, it's still love. It's always love. It's like a close-knit type of thing. Yeah, it was just close-knit. Like a lot of them I knew from high school or middle school, some even like around like elementary. And it was always just close-knit, real tight family. And it was just like, just understanding that. And then, that's why we call it Ends to Family. So we understand that family-like culture, man. And that goes into like with the whole scene, like, and there's different scenes when it comes to like the music industry. My bad, y'all. I gotta like burp or something. But it's whole different scenes when it comes down to like the music industry and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, once you get to talking about like art, and music, combining those two, that's one thing that you gotta understand. It's close-knit, it's a family-like type of, environment. So a lot of these groups hangs out in pockets. A lot of them already know each other, already established relationships, like we already said. It's already that understanding the vibe. So you coming into sort of like a controlled environment where most times or not, they trying to control the vibe of the environment. They want a certain type of energy to flow. So then that's why when you go to certain type of events, you'll see certain different type of people. You feel me? And as far as, the real artsy, like hipster artsy, or you might go, it might be like rebel I don't want to say rebel, but you feel me, like punk artsy. You feel me, a punk art. You feel me, and that goes on both sides. The only reason I say artsy because I mean like as in like they may be a visual artist, they may be a musician, they may be like fashion artists. But you feel me, like that's how it is out here. You feel me, it's broken down a little bit, but it's all into the same groups though. So you got like the hipsters. You feel me, more so like a lot of like. I ain't gonna say more so because you feel me, the black culture kind of is divided into those two as well. You feel me? Also saying you got that rebel type, like that rebel type. I guess you call it like alternative or punk. Then you got that, that artistic. You feel me? Like they tapped in, no matter if it's hood or just hipster. They just tapped in and they just involved in their art. They real like artists. You feel me? Which is real cool. So you got the atmosphere out here. Which take you into number 2, which is you gotta be willing to step out and put yourself out there. You feel me? Like, I'm not saying like people isn't open arms, because people here is open arms. They invite you places like, shout out to my dude EJ at Mac House, and Ricky Tangible Thoughts. I could just keep going down the line. Counter Space Gallery. You feel me? Domatic Powers in them. But like once you put yourself out there, you feel me, it's like energy cannot be created nor destroyed. This one type of place where it ain't like a New York or Chicago or Detroit where like you might say something to somebody. They might look at you like you sideways, or they might just straight up ignore you or just look at you like, why are you talking to me? It's a little different. It's like once you really get out there and engage, people like, oh snap, we got similar interests. Hey, you should come to this. You should come to this tonight. We got this going on. My buddy was telling me about this. You should come check it out if you're really looking for this, that, and the third. So you're able to like gradually grow into these spaces organically by getting introduced by someone. You feel me? And a lot of stuff is like that. A lot of things here are like, it's a lot of things are real big about being word of mouth because it's a lot of controlled environments, like I said. So a lot of things are real big at being word of mouth. So it comes down to a lot of times of, knowing the right individuals. And a lot of times that just comes with being authentic and just putting yourself out there. And you should like that too, because when you be authentic, if somebody ain't really vibing with you or something like that, take that as a good note, because you probably don't want to be in that type of space. Because if they ain't rocking with you, people that's probably around them probably think similar or somewhat like them. And I ain't gonna say everybody think the same, but I'm just saying, just understand that, like, all right, that's cool. We probably just wasn't meant for each other. My style and my taste might not be meant for you, and and people that's like-minded like you. But, that's the second one. You feel me? Just understanding that you got to put yourself out there sometimes. And when you put yourself out there, people, it'll be open arms in a sense. If you do it, in a respectable way. And if you do it in an authentic way. And the third one is you got to have an open perspective, man. You feel me? Like Minneapolis, St. Paul, like all this, the Twin Cities is a melting pot. You feel me? A lot of us, we come from where it was like a certain type of like culture. It's a melting pot of culture. So you can have a punk rock, you feel me, black dude from the hood, and you can have like a dude that he made trap music. If you feel me, or what they call gangster rap, but I'm gonna just say he made trap music. You feel me? And they'll go perform at the same open mic. Then you might have somebody come up, like somebody grandma or somebody auntie, somebody mama, or just somebody that just older up in age. They might come up and do spoken word. That's just how diverse the audience is. Then you might have somebody come up, they might sing, and they might have a friend, in the back playing the guitar. You're not just gonna see like just straight hip hop all the time, like just straight hip hop, or this is straight jazz and R&B, or this is just straight spoken word. It's like a mixture. So then that's pretty cool too, which make it kind of open when you come to some of these events. And that's pretty much that. Like, I don't know if I kind of hit it on the head. You feel me? Most definitely comment Share, like, subscribe. But I really want y'all to comment and tell me what y'all think about navigating the scene. Now, I ain't gonna say it's the best, but I also ain't gonna say it's the worst. Just going tapping back into, just paying respect. Like, it's a lot of resources, but it's a lot of talented individuals out here. You feel me? And it's also a lot of shakers and movers too that's young. They trying to make some shit happen. And it's really like just aligning yourself up with the right individuals, but you gotta make sure, y'all energy and y'all vibes mesh. Like I said, you gotta know what you're coming into, but you gotta be willing to put yourself out there to come into something. Because it's out there. Like the resources, the people, the networking is out there. It's just that you gotta be willing to put yourself out there. And one thing about putting yourself out there, remember, be authentic, man. Just be authentic with this, man. Just be who you are and come as who you are. And hey, somebody might not rock with you, that's cool. But like I said, that comes with just putting yourself out there. Because you might just rub somebody the wrong way. But if you just putting yourself out there, they might see you at one event and they might be like, oh, I don't know if I really like dude, or I don't know if I really like her, or something like that. Because they might not understand your vibe or something. The next thing you know, one of their friends or something, they might see you somewhere else. One of their friends might have bumped into you. Y'all might start talking or something like, oh, no, buddy actually cool. They just come from Detroit or Chicago or New York or Atlanta or something like that. Oh, I understand. Oh, yeah, you say you do music. Oh, bad. Like, that's really how the conversation be going, because I've been there and I seen it. Like, that's how the conversation be flowing. They be like, man, oh, yeah, bro, we should tell them about such and such. Then they go tell buddy about it. Next thing you know, out of nowhere, buddy just got invited to an event where he probably used to, like, nobody even rocking with him, just always got to be on point or something like that. Just coming from these type of environments, we got to understand that, too. We all carrying around these past experiences with us, you feel me? And we portray them on, future experiences or our present moments. But what we got to realize is learning how to learn from those and apply that. You feel me? What we learned, but not, always just what we heard from. And I ain't gonna go too much deep into that. But it's your boy Bazz. Them is like my 3 tips with a little extra little ingredients on it on how you can, help navigate the entertainment and art scene of the Twin Cities, man. If you coming in here, no matter if it's as a tourist or for a short stay or long stay, just having that understanding just how to navigate it. But I ain't gonna talk your ears off to death, you feel me? We straight to the point with these. It's your boy Bazz, and this is N's Podcast, and we out.